We are live for another afternoon devotion. Thank you all for being here. Man, some of y'all beat me here and already got the chat going, which is awesome. I love that. So hello to, he's pretty much on the other side of the room, but still, hello to Caleb and to Daniel. Thank you guys for being here. I see that you guys got things started too with thankfulness. So Luke is thankful for his friends. Caleb is thankful for his mom because she brought us Papa John's breadsticks with cheese sauce. That sounds awesome. Love that. I'm just thankful for my family and that they're home. They were gone, sort of visiting some family and like I shared before, for my nephew's baptism on Sunday. So just glad to kind of have them back here. Let me know others that are here and watching. What are you thankful for? Say hi in the chat. Know what you're thankful for. Let's share that together. So, all right. That's our thankfulness for the day. I love that you guys are here and interacting. It's time for quarter teen games. So last time Monday was the 51st anniversary of the first moon landing. And so we talked about the moon and how far away it is. The question was, how many miles away is the moon? The correct answer is 240,000 miles, or about, okay? I think it's actually like 238,000 something. Close enough, okay? So closest guess was Alec at 200,000. So congrats to Alec for one more quarter for your tally, sir. Today, I couldn't really find any really cool stuff on like this day in history or weird holidays today. So let's go Bible, okay? Let's talk about the Bible. So we know that Bible is divided into chapters and verses. It was not originally written that way. All that stuff was added later. But the question for today, real simple. How many chapters are in the Bible? How many chapters are in the Bible? Okay. So there's your question for today. Let me know what your guess is. No Googling. This is guesses, but take your best shot between all the 66 books. How many chapters are there? Okay. So there you go. There's for today. All right. So we are up to, I think this is number 9, I'm pretty sure, of our 12 disciples. So maybe 10. I don't know. We're getting close to the end anyway. So we're up to James. Now we've already done James. So wait, what's going on? So there's 2 disciples named James in the 12. This one is known, depending on where you're reading, he's either known as James the Less. Sometimes you might hear it as James the Lesser, or as James the son of Alphaeus. So, so let's talk about this guy. So here's the thing. In terms of what the Bible, we got the Gospels and certainly some in Acts we have some stories about the different apostles, right? In terms of a record of anything that he said or did, we got nothing, literally nothing. We know he was part of the 12. That's most of what we know, okay? So all of the list of the 12 that we have in the Gospels, and there's one in Acts as well, list him as James the son of Alphaeus. So his father's name was apparently Alphaeus. Now, what's interesting about that is in Mark 2:14, Mark lists, when he gives his list of the apostles, or maybe this is, now I forget exactly what's going on in that chapter. That may be where Matthew is called. Anyway, whatever. He refers to Matthew as Levi, which we learned before is one of his other names, but he calls him Levi, the son of Alphaeus. So are Levi / Matthew and James that we're talking about today brothers? That's possible. We don't know. It's certainly possible that there may just be 2 guys named Alphaeus, and Matthew and James just their dads happen to have the same name. That's certainly possible. I kind of tend to think that because there's other times where they're listed, but they're never really listed together. So I would think if they were brothers, we might see them connected more, but we don't know for sure. That's a possibility. In Mark 15:40, so we've got this scene sort of at the crucifixion. We find James described as James, depending on your translation. Most of the modern translations say James the Younger. Some of your older ones like King James and stuff are going to say James the Less. It could be, either one could be legitimate. The Greek word there is mikros, where we get micro, okay? It means small, okay? So James the Small, James the Less. So could that mean, look, we've got two guys named James within the 12, so there's probably some way that they tried to distinguish between the two. Could this be a matter of age, that James, the brother of John, was older than the James we're talking about today? That's possible. Is it possible that the other James was just sort of more important? Not more important, but had more of a leadership role, was more prominent, had been Jesus' follower longer. So was there a little bit of ranking or whatever? That was how they distinguished him. That's possible. Shoot, the fact that it says less or small may just mean that he was a smaller guy. It may mean that he was a little bit shorter. That's possible too. Again, there's a lot here that we're not 100% sure what all it means. What's also interesting, according to that verse, Mark 15:40, James's mother was at the crucifixion. So she was also apparently a follower of Jesus. So there's a family connection there. So that's something that we can learn about him. Really, in terms of what he did and said, like I said, that's it. Church history tells us, again, not much about him. Some records say that he went on to share the gospel in Syria and in Persia, which is what we would now call Iran. In that area, there's different accounts of how he died. We know that he died for his faith. Some stories say he was stoned to death. Some say that he was beaten to death. Some say that he was crucified. But we know that he, like the other apostles, other than John, was martyred, was killed for his faith. So what kind of lessons can we learn from a guy that we don't know much about? That's an interesting question to consider. So here's the thing. We don't know a lot of details about him, but we do know that he was called by Jesus to be a disciple and to be an apostle, one who was sent to proclaim the gospel message. We do know that about him. And so what kind of lessons can we learn from that? What I get from that is it is greater to be called by God than to be famous. It is greater to be a follower of Jesus than it is to be famous. It is greater to be one who proclaims the gospel, who preaches the gospel, not just as a pastor, but as someone who shares the good news of Jesus Christ with others. That is a greater thing than being famous. I think sometimes we get caught up in this mindset that being famous is somehow the goal or a goal. When I read the Bible, that's not the case. Faithfulness is more important than fame. And I think we see that with James. It wasn't that he had to be well-known or famous or whatever, but he was called by Jesus and he followed and he proclaimed the gospel. And that's way more important than anything else we might want to know about him. So let's strive to be like him in that way and not worry about the fame, but worry about faithfulness to God. So that's it for today. We will tackle Simon the Zealot on Friday, which I'm really excited about. That's going to be a really interesting one to look at and learn some stuff from. So be sure and be back here Friday at 3 for that. And then let's see, I think we got 2 more after that. We'll have Judas, the other one. That'll be Monday. And then we'll wrap it up with Judas Iscariot, the traitor, next Wednesday. So anyway, be here Friday for Simon the Zealot. And then we got Zoom meeting tonight. So I see several guesses for quarter team games. Hello to Beth, who also checked in. So thank you guys for being here, and Tim as well. I appreciate you guys being here and being in on that stuff. And that's it for today. I love you guys. We will hopefully get to see you tonight and hopefully on Friday as well. We'll see you later.